I think that's live. I think that's working. If anyone can just drop a comment just saying like the sound's okay before I start talking and going off on, that'd be pretty good. Got 35 people in the stream though. 4 likes, it's always a good sign. At least there's someone to talk to. I always dread the day that I ever do a live stream and there's actually no one in it. That'd be awful. But hey, Darren says there is sound. That's all good. Oh man, what a crazy week. Absolute crazy week. Just generally didn't see that coming today. Just didn't see it coming. I thought we're pretty much like near the bottom right now, and bang. Obviously a massive drop today. I don't even know what it closed out in the end. I didn't even realize the market was dropping. What did we drop? Nasdaq. Nope, not the stock. What's the index? Yeah, 3.5% we finished off down today. Wow. And that's now 6.9% off highs. Crazy drop. Did not see it coming. Nuts. I mean, I knew we were due a pullback. Like the valuations, you're just looking at the valuations and you were like, okay, this is kind of crazy valuations, but I mean, bang. There's that saying where the bulls take the stairs and the bears take the elevator. And you just see, like, honestly, when the stock market drops, it drops, 3.5% in one day. Like, when the stock market's going up, it's always a nice steady, 0.5%, 0.7%. But when the stock market wants to go down, honestly, like, we get this and it just goes down so quick. It's like a slap in the face. That's what I say. Everything seems, in a bull market, everything seems so calm and everything's kind of going up. And when the bears do want to come out, it's a right slap in the face and a wake-up call, isn't it? So, yeah. I mean, Beyond Meat's I've not even seen Beyond Meat's reporting earnings. I don't even know what they've done yet. I know there's a few big names tonight. What's Beyond Meat's doing? Let's have a look. Oh, up 7% after hours. Nice. It looks like it dropped slightly. Then it rebounded, and then it dropped again. It's all over the place. I thought Beyond Meats were going to have an awful quarter. I was like, it's going to go down. But look like it's gone up. Oh, Beyond Meat goes mainstream with huge McDonald's and Yum Brands deal. Wow. Beyond Meats rallies after announcing a 3-year global strategic agreement with McDonald's. Per the terms of the deal, Beyond Meats will be McDonald's preferred supplier for the patty in the Big Plant Burger. Wow. Beyond Meat also announced a global partnership with Yum Brands. For their KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell. Wow. That's good news. That is good news. So we knew that we knew McDonald's and Beyond Meats were going to be working together somehow, because Ethan Brown came on the last press conference, I think, on the earnings, and people were like, oh, so are McDonald's doing this McPlant burger without you? And he was like, no, we are working together. I just can't say what it is yet. And so it looks like they are using the Beyond Meats burger for their burger. Then that's great. That is, I mean, how many stores do McDonald's have? McDonald's stores worldwide. How many stores does McDonald's have worldwide? 38,000 stores. Wow. So Beyond Meats have just got the big. There must be I'm sure McDonald's are the biggest fast food chain in the world with 38,000 stores. Like, just the news and the marketing they're going to get out of having that deal is huge. And never mind like the stores, people being introduced to it. That's really good. I actually didn't read even the EPS and revenue. So the EPS missed by 0.22, revenue missed as well. So yeah, I knew these earnings were going to be ugly. I knew they were going to be absolutely ugly, and they have been. But that McDonald's deal is just, it doesn't matter what the earnings are. That's great news. Really, really good news. So yeah, I mean, thing with Beyond Meats is that it's a great company, and at the moment they rely on so many restaurants, and while restaurants are just closed down huge, they aren't going to see the benefits of these partnerships they're putting in place until a few months down the line. So when we get back to normality, which is what, 6 months away, you would say now, it's not far at all. Not even that. It's not even 6 months, maybe 4 months away from normality. And these restaurants start opening up again. All these deals that Beyond Meats have signed over in like the last 12 months are really going to start coming into effect. And honestly, you come back to me in Q3, Q4 for Beyond Meats, it'll be amazing. It'll be amazing numbers they're putting in with these deals. So, oh man, that's nuts. I can't believe they've done that. I can't believe they've completely done that. It's really good. But that's why I say never play earnings. Like all the time, get asked, what do you think they're going to do on earnings? What are you going to do? I've said for the last 3 months, Beyond Meats is going to have a horrible quarter. And here we are, it's up. And this is why I'm not a short-term trader, because one, I would be terrible at it, but it's just you just can't predict it. I mean, it's actually pulling back a little bit now. Maybe the reality kick of them earnings being terrible have kicked in, but yeah, just shows you that you can't predict in the short term what happens. Just like this little dip that we've just had. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and start going. I'm going to try catch up through the questions. Let me try and Ultimate United, thank you so much, man. You're always in the live stream. Yeah, there's a lot of stocks nosediving. I've just seen that comment from Sam. Bears took the window today. That's one way to put it. Hold on, let me catch up. Stefan says he bought 2K of Tattoo Chef today. Oh, nice. You know what? I didn't even realize the market was dropping. I had my phone on charge. I wasn't checking my phone for the last few hours. And I thought, you know what? I'll just check my phone and see what the markets are doing. And next thing I know, the main notification was Dow dropped 600 points or something. And I was like, whoa, let's have a look. Is the time to go buy stuff? Yeah, Tattoo Chef back down at $20. Tattoo Chef at $20 is a bargain. I do not blame you for picking up Tattoo Chef at $20. That's a really good buy if you can pick it up there. Anthony says, do I reckon the dip will continue? Man, that's the $1 million question. If I had a crystal ball, I'll let you know. Like if you could predict if it'll carry on dropping, you won't buy right now. You'd say, oh, it's going to drop to so-and-so in 2 days' time, and I'll just wait there and buy it. Like we don't know when it's going to stop. You know, there's no clear point where we go, this is how far the stock market's going to drop to. In my opinion, we were due pull back. You guys know I've been saying for a while the stock market was incredibly overvalued. In my opinion, obviously we're never going to see anything like a March drop. You know, there's going to be nothing like that. But a decent pullback would make sense. I've always said 5 to 10% is where I see it going. If we look at the Nasdaq, that's down 6.9% right now. So we're about in that range. So it could go a little bit lower, you know. I wonder what the Dow's dropped. How much is the Dow down now? I bet this isn't down as much as say the Nasdaq. Yeah, 1.7%. So yeah, the Nasdaq, I mean, I think it could go 2-3% a little bit lower, but you know, we're never going to see anything like what happened in March for sure. Tom says, will I ever share my portfolio on YouTube? Yeah, I do it every month, Tom. I've done it for like the last kind of 3 years. So yeah, you can just track what my portfolio is doing on there. There's a good history, so you can see over like the last 3 years, like stocks that have come in, come out. You know, the thing is, well, there was part of me that nearly thought about stop doing the portfolio reviews because one, the views are awful on it, but I like doing it because I know some people really appreciate me like seeing the portfolio, but the views are terrible on it. But I also think it's quite good from the point of view like you can see how I position everything, the stocks I'm currently up on, and I also think it's quite a good like, you know, transparency thing that you can track my portfolio every month. So yeah, there's part of me that thought about stopping it actually a few months ago, but I had to think about it, and I thought I'll still carry on with it because I think some people do really appreciate it. So yeah. Steve says, just joined tonight. Any news on Card Factory debt repayments deadline by the end of February? I assume by the last 2 days, trading the bank has given them more time. No, we've not actually had anything. I think people are rotating into Card Factory because they're just thinking, okay, it's a beaten down stock. It's really low. Let me take a gamble on it. And I think people are just kind of like, now we've got kind of an end of when we might get back to normality kind of thing. Like I think people are like, hey, let's take a punt on it now. And I think that's what it is, just rotation. And I think we will get an update some point this week on what Card Factory is doing and where they're at with everything. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Card Factory. But I mean, we're still not out of the woods. I would still say it's a very risky spec player that should not make up a lot of your portfolio. But I generally can't see. I can't see now why no one is going to give them the funding they need when we literally know they need to get to June. Like they literally need to just survive another 4 months. And I just think they are going to make it through it now, but I'm still going to say it's 50-50. But it's been some good news. It's been some good news last few days. Jay says he's been subscribed since my old channel. Oh, thanks so much as well for the compliment, Jay. Yeah, not many people know I used to have another channel. The whole story with that went, so people don't know that JKR Investing is my new channel. My old channel is JKR Old Channel. If you actually search it, that does come up, and you can see, like, I think I've got all my videos since 2017 on there, and basically YouTube actually ended up putting a ban on a lot of my features on my old channel, and I was like, I can hardly do anything that I want to do now on this channel because of the ban, which was really frustrating. So I was like, and this is when I got to like 2,000, 3,000 subscribers or something. And it was really frustrating. And I was like, I can't hardly do what I want to do on that channel. Like I couldn't even do live streams on it. And I was like, this is so annoying. Like I can hardly do what I want to do in it. So I had to start again from scratch, from 0 subscribers, and recoup all that again. And like I had 4 years of video history on there, which was really annoying. But yeah, so I had to restart it. But not many people know that, Jay, that was what actually happened. But there's a little history lesson. I'll stop boring you all about it now. Let me catch up on questions. Harry Foster, how are you doing? People won't know you, Harry, unless they are in the Patreon or the Discord. But Harry is a master of the stock market with an amazing portfolio. Why is S4 so attractive to me? I think the S4 Capital, to try and get a bulk kind of theory in like a 2-minute video, I covered it. I think on the 3 UK stocks to buy for kind of a few minutes. I think I covered it on that video. I'm going to try to do a dedicated video to S4 Capital. But basically, if I go for S4 Capital, right? So imagine we've got a 2 billion digital marketing company. Digital marketing, growing huge. Now, if you think over the last 12 months, what's the one thing that has been absolutely cut from companies' budget at the moment? It's hiring people and marketing budgets. So we haven't even got many companies that have got the marketing budgets to full pace right now. So I think that's really going to help things. And I think digital marketing as well is definitely where companies are going to go down the line. So I think that you've got a company here. If we go back to S4's latest earnings, they were absolutely amazing. Digital marketing is going to grow. They've cut a lot of their budgets over the last 12 months, and this company is still pulling out amazing earnings. So I think that from the growth point of view, it's going to be really good in a growth sector. The other thing as well is that when S4 Capital have, if you look at their client list, the client list are a lot of growing companies. They're going to up the marketing game as they grow as well, which is great. If you look at what S4 Capital are doing, they're also buying a lot of different other media companies. So because of that, that's also going to help the revenue as well. So they're buying out quite heavy. And you also look at the revenue growth they're going to do and the valuation it's at. It just seems so cheap. And it's already come a 2 billion company. in 3-4 years, which is crazy. And Martin Sorrell, that is the CEO up there at S4 Capital, if you look at what he's done previously in this industry, he's got a history of absolutely killing this industry. Like the last company he had was like, I think it was when he left, it was like a 16 billion company. So if he can do the same thing at S4 Capital and get it to like a 16 billion valuation, I think S4 Capital right now is like a 2 billion valuation. You know, that's crazy, isn't it? Like that's 8 times where the share price for S4 Capital is right now. So you think that the management team here have a success of making a 16 billion company before? What do you think stopping them from doing it again right now? And you know what? So what if they don't get it to a 16 billion valuation company? Even if they get it to an 8 billion valuation company, it's 4x from where it is right now. And I'm just thinking, for me, I'm just like, I'm looking at the numbers of it and it's just crazy. I think the price to sales ratio is something like 4 on it. For like, we don't even have that many great growth companies in the UK, and a PS ratio of 4. I think it worked out the other day as the forward P out as like 30 or something. So yeah, it's crazy. A really good valuation for a growth company. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to move on to the next one because I hope that was a good answer. A good answer. Trading with CJ. Why was it banned? Oh, the YouTube channel. I don't know. I generally don't know. I wrote probably 30 appeals into Google to try and get it overturned, and they just kept denying them. And then the annoying thing is that when I moved over to my new channel, literally about 2 months later, I got an email from Google saying that they have taken all the restrictions off my old channel. And I was like, really? Like I've completely switched channels now, and now you're taking it off after 2 months? Like, oh, honestly, that whole day I was absolutely gutted. So yeah, I don't know how there's a lot of bots, I think, that works in Google, like that some sort of algorithms that's really hard to get around and actually get you ban off. So yeah, I don't know, it's crazy. Bull Investor says, have I been buying more in this dip? Come on, you know me. If we have a dip, do you think I've been buying? I've bought a lot. I'll put it this way. I think on Monday, my cash balance was 30% cash, and I think I am at 20% cash right now. So yeah, I've spent 10% of my cash pile this week. So yeah, I've been buying. But as you can see, I'm still keeping 20% cash there, that if we do go down a little bit further. But yeah, you offer me a dip in some great companies with a 30% cash pile. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take that opportunity big time. Oh, Ultimate United, man, you nuts, you. I invested £300 into S4 today at 432. Should I keep topping up? Also, you was right about CCIV. Lucid Motors price dropped heavy from 63 to 27. I don't really track that one, but yeah, I'll have a look in a second. But with S4 Capital, yeah, I mean, just edge yourself in, nicely. There's nothing to say that S4 Capital might go lower. So just be careful of that. So you do leave yourself some room to average in over the next maybe 2-3 months. But yeah, I mean, it's a great company. I would just keep topping up. I just keep topping it up as well. Lucid Motors, CCIV. Let me have a look. I don't really track this company. Oh, yeah. Crikey. That is a massive drop. Wow. As if it's lost like half its share value in 1 week. Wow. That's nuts. So the CCIV were the one merging with Lucid Motors, right? So yeah, this is the problem with SPAC stocks. They always seem to have this like hype before the merge, and then the merger actually gets announced, and then they like just seem to just drop after the merger. You'd think like everyone would be like, oh, the merger's confirmed. That's even better. Let's go higher. But it's not. Like the merger gets announced and then they drop from there, which is strange. But I guess there's that saying that is always like, buy the rumor, sell the news. I guess that's one of those true sayings, I guess. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Half a drop. I couldn't imagine that. I could not imagine, like, I say that at VHang did it the other week, to be fair, investing in the company and then half your share value drops. It's just scary, isn't it? Oh, Sheriff, thank you so much for the donation. I'm not sure if you answered this already. Do you think we are heading to making new lows? Also, why not keep in Discord your update portfolio and new buys? Sheriff, I'm not sure if you are on the Discord or the Patreon, but if you were, you would see that I always post on the. I'm guessing you're not in there because you would know about it. But if you are, so if you join the Patreon, basically on the Patreon, there's a whole list of like my posts, and if you go on the post, it has like all the buys that I have, and if I buy something new, it will come up on that page. And then from there, I also take the post, and I also there's a page on Discord where only I can post, and then I'll post that on that page as well. So there's the tab on Patreon with all my posts. I wish I could show you my screen, and then I could show you all the posts. And yeah, there's all the posts on there. Then there's the Discord where it gets a notification. And the great thing with Patreon as well is that if I post something, you get an email notification as well. So there's 3 things where you get notifications, basically, where if I buy something, bang, it goes out there. So yeah, if you are thinking about joining that, you'll be able to see there's 3 ways that you'd get notified if I ever did buy something like today. And also, on Patreon, I don't do my updated portfolio just because it's so much work to update it while I'm tracking it. So I don't do it it's not something I can do like every day, for example. So yeah, but if you go back on my YouTube history, you'll be able to see every month my YouTube stock market portfolio reviews. So if you're on Patreon and you look at my buys, you can kind of work out where I'm at from looking through the portfolio review series that I do on YouTube. So yeah, hopefully that was useful for you. Pickerick says, what's happened to Card Factory? We don't know yet. We are waiting news, but I said earlier that I think people are rotating into a few more riskier plays, willing to take a little bit more risks. Now we've got kind of an end date to all this. So yeah, I think people are just being a little bit braver. Still a risky stock though. Don't get me wrong. Still a very risky stock. Ultimate United, man. Stop with the donations. You put this in S4 Capital. True. Valuation 24 billion at $15 a share. Whoa, really? So they were 60. If that is true, that's a crazy valuation. Yeah, no wonder that had to pull back if that was true. Goldie, one of the legends of the YouTube. Honestly, I always spot him in the comment section. I think we even have him on Patreon now as well. So hopefully, he still likes the content now. He knows what's kind of going to be on the YouTube channel before I even post it. Tattoo Chef's still a buy, yeah. $20. It's an absolute bargain. Reese Harris says, did I buy Tesla in the dip? You'll have to be on Patreon to know that, but I will reveal all. My video tomorrow was going to be, hey, look, these are the companies that I bought on Tuesday on the dip, but now we've had another dip. I'm like, oh, I can't even do that. I have no idea. I generally have no idea what my video is going to be tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to talk about Beyond Meats. Like I said, I was going to say like all the companies that I bought this week, but if it's going to dip, I can't make that video because I might end up going and buying some more stuff tomorrow. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow, but it's DraftKings earnings tomorrow as well. So yeah, that might be something. Owen says, any advice on VHang? It's dropping like a stone. Yeah, well, a short report. I don't know if you saw it, VHang. The reason Owen, I called you VHang instead of Owen. I don't know if you saw why it dropped. There was a short report that came out last week. I think it was last week. Yeah, last week. And basically that's what's caused the stock to go down. It was proven that a lot of these short report was a lie, but nevertheless, the damage has been done to the share price, which is gutting for us shareholders. I mean, it's there's it's a bit frustrating as a shareholder to see some information like this, which is just like lies, bring down a stock that you've invested in. But the thing in VHang is that it had been on a very good run. Let's not forget that the stock has gone from at the start of the year being a $20 stock. It went all the way up to like a $100 stock. So it had been on a very good run. So don't forget about that. And the short report was just timed to perfection. But VHang is, the big thing it needs regulation, and until we get the regulation, it'll be a bit choppy with this company. But the thing is like I'm buying this company for like the next 5 years, and it's just a spec play for me. I'm just kind of putting some money in it and leave it and see where it's at in 5 years. And if drones come a massive thing, this is going to be VHang's going to be like probably the number one player in this industry. You look at the prototype that he does have with the test flights. It's a really successful model that he does have. So I mean, I'm just kind of like buying it, locking it away, and see what happens. I mean, I don't know if it'll go up 5x. I don't know if it'll go to 0, but I'm just happy to just put some money in it and see where VHang goes, really. So yeah, it's just, if it depends to you as an investor, you're happy to put some money in something and lock it up for the next 5 years. And it might never turn into anything amazing, but I just think I think there's a lot of potential in the drone industry, and I think who's the number one player? VHang. So I'm just putting some money in here, lock it away, and see where it goes. So yeah. Lewis is about Callaway Golf's earnings include Topgolf. No, I don't think the acquisition of Topgolf has closed just yet. I know it's sometime in the first half of 2021, but I believe the deal hasn't fully closed yet, so I don't think it will do. The Muffin Man, I love that name. What's the prediction on Neo? Neo is one that I am not invested in, but I know there's a lot of bulls around it. For you guys that were kind of waiting on a Neo dip, you've kind of got a little one here, so it might be interesting. When you got 24%, 23% dip on Neo right now. So yeah, I mean, it's doing good things. Neo is doing good things. You can't deny it. The numbers, the production side of it, it's looking good. So if you were fancying Neo, you got 23%, 25% dip on that. So yeah. Luciob, why has WorkCast jumped so much today? I actually hadn't seen how much it has gone up. WorkCast stock 24%. I think the news came out that it's down 10% after hours. I think that it kind of went up because it came out that ARK Invest carried on buying yesterday, and it's crazy that someone else's influence on the stock market, they bought some shares, so it must be all right. That sort of influence, following ARK Invest into this, thinking, it can't be that bad, I'm still buying them shares. Yeah, I think people are just following just ARK and thinking, if they're still buying, I can still buy this company. It's still going to be a great company, and it's going to still have something apart from now losing that United States the Postal Service contract. So yeah, I think it was just people following in after hearing that ARK Invest is still buying it. So yeah. Card Factory is a buy or risky? It's risky. Obviously, I own it, but it's a spec play, and spec play should never be your number one position, as certain people have found out over the last 24 hours. Greatland Gold. I don't touch gold stocks. What's my opinion on GNOG, Golden Nugget? I like Golden Nugget. Well, You know what? I'll just tell you. I bought some golden nugget this week. I did buy some. It was a small position. Um, I don't want it to be a big position because I'm still very nervous about the debt they have and the management team. But it just got to the point, like, what's GNOG's valuation right now? So GNOG is currently valued at 960 million as a market cap, $14, and the stock is down 45%. So I just got to the point where I was looking at GNOG and I was like, it's a 900 million market cap company. I think they're going to do like 100 million revenue this year. And I think the revenue is growing at like 60%. These are all just numbers going off my head. So they might not be exactly perfect, but you get my point where I'm going with it. So at the moment, 100 million revenue and 900 million market cap. Like, that's not too badly valued. I think it's even going to make a profit this year. So yeah, it's good. And then you look at the valuations of GNOG. I mean, no way is GNOG. I mean, we've got DraftKings earnings tomorrow. I totally forgot about that for a second. But you look at the valuation of GNOG compared to Gang and also DraftKings, and the valuation is like a third of what they are. And it's like, why is this so low? And it just came to the point where I was like, I love the industry that it's in. I'm just going to take a little punt on it and see where it goes. So yeah, I did buy some, and we'll see where it exactly goes from here. But yeah, it's just a very cheap valuation compared to a DraftKings in a Gang. I don't like it as much as a DraftKings in a Gang, but I was just like, I'm going to take a punt on it here. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, Rob. So yeah, I mean, the thing with Golden Nugget is that I don't like it anywhere near as much as Gang or DraftKings. But there's a point where I was like, it's way too cheap for this company. And don't get me wrong, if this company offers me a 50% return in the next 2 months, 3 months, I'd sell it. I'd run away and leave it and just keep my Gang and DraftKings. But I know the industry in and out, and at this valuation, I love it. So yeah. James asks about Plantier. I don't even know how you say that company name. So many people talk about it. I never watch videos on it. PLTR. I don't know it that well. It's an industry that, for me, I only get involved in stuff that I know, and I only buy things that I know. I mean, it's had a 32% dip. Yeah, like, big data companies, I don't know much about them. So it's not an industry that I like to get involved in. But I know that this company has some exciting stuff going on. It's on a 38% dip, which is nice. So I would say that I personally don't think I would buy it. But if you know the industry and what I know about how much this is growing, I would be tempted to buy this one. I won't, because I don't know the industry that well. But if you were looking at PLTR, that's the sort of a dip that you want to be buying on. So I personally won't buy, but it looks like a buy to me, but I don't know it. So yeah. Am I in crypto or mining stocks? No, don't do crypto, don't do mining stocks. Once again, I don't get involved in things I don't know. So yeah, I just, I know I'll probably miss out on a few gains, but I always want to have 100% confidence with what I buy. So yeah. Am I paid to advertise the Freetrade app? I wish I was. I wish I was. Jim Jones says, would I say I'm a value investor? I would say I'm more growth based. I generally buy a lot more growth companies, but I will buy value stocks. I will buy dividend stocks. I don't like limiting myself to one area. I like doing them all. I would say I'm more growth, but yeah. I really like to buy growth companies at like a 1 billion to a 10 billion valuation and see them go up to nearly maybe 100 billion or higher. So that's where I really like that. If I was to put a specialist subject in, I would say that I like buying growth stocks between a 1 billion and a 10 billion valuation. So if you look at stuff like DraftKings, I guess that's just above 10 billion, but I'll count it. Hugh, Gang's another one. InMode, I believe. I don't even know what InMode's valuation is right now. InMode, it's been on a crazy run. Yeah, InMode's still a 2 billion company, so a company like InMode, that's another one. So yeah, that's where I'll put my specialist down, but I don't limit myself onto it. What am I drinking tonight? Just a glass of water. What do I think about HCMC? I do not know the company. I know this is like the latest penny stock to be out there. HCMC. Yeah, I don't know it that well. Oh wow. Wow. That has, oh my goodness, that has taken the window. Jesus Christ. I thought this was the next hot stock. Jesus Christ. Oh my, that has actually dived. I thought this was supposed to be the next hot penny stock. Man, I tell you, this is why you don't play with this stuff. Everyone looks a genius in a bull market, but honestly, as soon as we have a few red days, you start to see who sinks and who swims in this stock market. Man, it's lost half its value in literally like 2 weeks. Man, this is why I don't touch this stuff. I don't touch them sort of stuff because the value just moves so much. Like I like having steady investments to just gain up in value, but man, I just can't do it. Just cannot do it. Dominic says Greg's is on a roll. Is that a pun intended? Had a 4% dip today though, but yeah, I mean it's on a good run. What are we up now? We are up 77% since October. It's pretty good going. If anyone bought in September, they're up a little bit more. Yeah, I mean it's a good run. Good run. I like Greg's, as you know. Yeah, exactly, Rob. Who wants the stress? I like waking up and not knowing that my portfolio has lost half its value in 1 week. Like I couldn't deal with it. Right, a lawsuit against Philip Morris. Right. So it sounds like it's going to be a play whether or not they probably get paid out if they win the case against Philip Morris. Then, yeah. So fair enough. What's your go-to takeaway menu item? Chinese takeaway item. Oh man, you put me on the spot there. One thing that has changed my life over the last few years is discovering salt and pepper chicken. I didn't really know about it that much, and then I was with a mate, and he was like, "Oh, have you ever tried salt and pepper chicken?" I was like, "No." And yeah, got salt and pepper chicken. I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." So I mean, that's a bit basic though, isn't it? It's a bit of a basic choice. I always like a Chinese chicken curry. I think they're I love a Chinese chicken curry. Beef and black bean sauce. But yeah, salt and pepper chicken maybe. So many choices. I love Chinese. Love it. Um, what's my opinion on Square? I cannot tell you. You might find out in a few days' time. Yeah, I'm not sure on the Greg's dividend. I can't remember. Can't remember what they used to pay. If I had to buy one stock only, what would it be? Wow, that's so tricky. So tricky. Um, face, Facebook, Facebook, Amazon. I can only see them dominating the next few years. Sherry, thank you so much for the donation. Do you think we are still in a correction? Will we still see lower lows? If not, don't you think everything is still overvalued? Yeah, I mean, this is a question. That's a question that you can need a crystal ball to know. Are we going any further? I mean, that's so hard. This is why you're not a day trader. Like we're not really too bothered if it goes down a couple more percent, and that's something that's just so hard to predict. I think that we were due a 5 to 10% pullback, and at the moment we're down. And let's not forget, this is just tech stocks. This is just tech stocks that are pulling back. And I think that we do a 5 to 10% drop. Now we've done about 6 to 7% right now. So I do think that we need probably another. We could go down another 3% really. But the problem is as well is like at the moment there's just nowhere else to invest your money. So I do think that we need a rotation. We do need to pull back, and I do think there is a chance that we do go maybe a tiny bit lower, but we generally won't go too much further back because there's nowhere else better to put your money. So just dollar cost average and you'll be all right. Louis says, when did I start investing? I started investing now 5 years ago, I think it was. I think it was 5 years ago. So yeah, I always had I always got interested in it. I think it was 2013. I kind of got my interest because there was a program on TV that I watched, and I was like, oh, this stock market stuff. I'm gonna pack in the live stream now. This this stock market stuff looks really interesting. And I was like, let me have a look into it. And I just never got anywhere with it. And then eventually I just had money in the bank account, like not doing anything. And I just like, it's a bit depressing having some money sat there. And it's like, it's just getting like 0.001% every like year. And I was like, surely there's something better for this to do. And then I got into the stock market, and yeah, it was a great decision. I think there's a video somewhere on my old channel, and I talk about like the first ever stocks I own. I believe my first ever portfolio was, I think I owned Square, and I owned Square at $20, which is nuts. I should have still hold it now. Yeah, I had Square at $20. This is when it was on the stock market only recently. I bought Ferrari, and that was a recent IPO. So yeah, I had Square, Ferrari. I bought, what was my other companies? I bought Wynn Resorts. I bought Wynn Resorts when it was about $70. So yeah, that was another company. Which other companies did I own? I owned 3i Group, which was a UK stock. There was one company that didn't do well, which was Live Nation. I bought Live Nation, and I think that pretty much never did anything for me. I pretty much made like 10-20% on it by the time I sold that one out. But yeah, Square was my first investment that I ever bought. The first one I ever clicked the buy button on. And yeah, I bought Square. Like it must have been like near the IPO at the time. It was like $20, I believe it was, when I did buy it. Let me have a look. Yeah, so it IPO'd in 2016, and I bought it really near the IPO prices, and I made like a lot of money on it. Like that was my first investment. I think I made I think it was my first stock, and I think I put 5,000 in it, and I made. It was something. It was nearly like I nearly made 10 grand on it, and that was my first investment. And I was like, "Whoa, this stock market this game is pretty good, isn't it? You can make money quite easy." And yeah, obviously, you can imagine it was like one of my first investments. I made that amount of money, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm going to take this." Like, I'm sure you look at it now and you're like, "Oh, Square's $200. You should have hold it. You'd have been up 10x from here." But you can imagine, it's your first investment. You made that much amount of money, and I was like, I've got to take the money and run. So I'm never angry about it, because it was the investment that gave me confidence to put more money in and build up your knowledge and everything. But yeah, that was my first ever investment, and I'm trying to remember some of the other companies that I had. But yeah, then there's a bit of a history lesson. I guess training CJ has been what got me into the investing Wolf of Wall Street. No, it wasn't. You know what? I can try find the program for you. It was a bit of a day trading program, and I believe the program was on either ITV or BBC. What was the program called now? It's on YouTube for free. So this is it. So the program's called $1 Million Traders, and it's on YouTube. And if you search in $1 Million Traders, it's the first link. It's uploaded by Lex Van Dam Trading Academy, and it's not anything to do with like long-term investing. So don't take actual like tips of how to invest from it. But it really fascinated me. It was filmed in the 2008 financial crisis as well, which is also very interesting. And also what you'll notice as well, I mean, this is like that program's 12 years old, but what you'll notice is like they actually phone up to put the deals through for like to place the orders. So they're like, oh, can I have one share in Amazon? And they're phoning up and doing it, and you think like that's only 12 years ago, and nowadays we just download Trading 212 and just click a button and buy. So yeah. Have I ever done the Otley run? Yeah. Never done it dressed up though. Never done it dressed up. Not looked at Canadian Solar. Enphase nearly tempted me the other day. Would I put money into a pension or trading? Well, I won't put money into trading, but if you mean investing, I would be. Yeah, investing is good. Obviously, if you're thinking about retirement and you're getting near retirement, make sure you don't go with very high growth stocks that might need a few more years to develop. Look for more built, established companies for sure, because the last thing you want to be doing is waiting for a recovery because we have a financial dip and all these growth stocks have been absolutely stung, because growth stocks get stung faster in a market dip as well. So yeah, you just got to be really careful. How old am I and what's my day job? You put me on the spot now. 27. I'm 27 now. Day job, I am a teacher. Well, you're still all the way up since I was trading in the 2008 crash. Well, clearly you must have done all right because you made it out the other side. Not sure, Lennon. That'd be really interesting to think about. And it'd be really good that when Beyond Meat do get on the menu, because that advertising would be just fantastic. Yeah, exactly. It's just crazy, isn't it? How much we've developed in 12 years, that we've gone from, still phoning up brokers and paying, crazy amounts of fees, to apps now that you just click a button and you can buy stocks for free. It's just crazy how much we developed. You can see why so many more people get into stocks now, and you can see why stocks are being limited to so many people, and I mean, I hardly, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but no one I know in just working life and friends and family, I know no one that invests in stocks. Like you can see, especially like anyone, you know, I think a few people that are maybe 30, 30 to or lower, a lot of them guys, I think, have some sort of knowledge in it. But you can see why, like, it's just been so restricted for people for so long. And, why, the rich really carry on getting rich, really. It's kind of been a limited investment area for so many people. And you can see why, the rich get richer, as they say. And this, unfortunately, has never been taught in the education system to the average Joes. And if it was, it would make it such a more big fair playing field, wouldn't it? It's just, yeah. I'm not going to read that question out loud. Made me laugh though. And I think that's one of the smaller kind of penny stocks. Kind of don't really touch that sort of industry. Yeah, Goldie at the moment it does. The weakening dollar does affect a few of my investments, but the thing is like it worked like literally until like last year. It worked in your favor, so I think it what goes around comes around. At the moment it's kind of hurting your profits a little bit, and it is a bit of a pain in the backside. But the last kind of few years we've had it all in our favor. So I think over a course of if you're investing from an early age to retirement, I think that over that course of a period, it will level itself out, and I won't worry about it too much. But yeah, I know what you mean. Over the last year, it has been noticeable. I think it's been noticeable because of how much it's dropped so quick. But don't forget we've had it in our favour the last few years. So I think it'll level out over time. So I won't worry too much about it. Jim Jones, I'm going to take that as a compliment. But how did I learn to invest? It's just trial and error. It's just trial and error. Like the thing is, like when I started investing, there was like nowadays there's so many people on YouTube, and like you can just pick up tips from so many people. But like nowadays, it's just it's a lot easier to get that sort of information. But it was just trial and error, like looking at companies. And I think I spent like before I started investing, I spent like the first kind of few months like reading articles on like things to how to invest. I listened to Warren Buffett quite a bit. I read The Intelligent Investor by Warren Buffett as well. And also, I'll say about Warren Buffett, Benjamin Graham. That was quite good. One Up on Wall Street's really good, by Peter Lynch. And yeah, just picking little stuff up, and eventually I was kind of like, right, let's have a look into the stock market, and that's where I kind of went. What like Square for me was the One Up on Wall Street, where Peter Lynch talks about that trying to spot companies that are up and coming while Wall Street hasn't noticed them, hence the name One Up on Wall Street. And I saw Square and I was like, I really like this, like really simple mobile payments. This is great. And so Square was like a One Up on Wall Street idea where I was like, I think this company has loads of potential to grow. So yeah, I saw Square and I was like, I love the idea. I think it could be a multi-billion-dollar company, and that idea pretty much came. I saw the growth on it as well, but I love the company of Square at the time when it was $20. And yeah, that idea came from One Up on Wall Street, so I learned from that point of view. And obviously, Square turned out to be over 100% return for me in the next coming years. And I was like, okay, so that system works, and I just carried on developing it from there. Another one was like more like a Warren Buffett thing, which was Win Resorts at the time, which I think was $70, $80, and it went up to $200, and I sold. And basically, I used Warren Buffett's theory of like valuations and P ratios on that one. So that's how I learned from that one. But then as you invest, you just get more and more experience. You know numbers off your head, like where it could go. You get better at like looking at information and picking things up, and you're making a theory, like a bull theory on the company and everything. Like you just get better at it. Like that's why I always say, like, don't listen to people on YouTube. Don't listen to me. Like, sure, come here and like maybe get some ideas from me, but like never like go, oh, Jacob says go buy this company, so I'm going to go buy it. Like just never do it. Like the only way you're going to improve, like imagine if you did listen to me, like, and then I stepped away from and I stopped making videos in like the next kind of 2 weeks. What are you going to do? If all your successful picks came from me, you're going to be on your own, and you as an investor, you need to develop your own investing skills so you can improve yourself as an investor. And then next thing you might find a company that I think is rubbish, but you like it, and then that company goes up 200%, and you was like, well, if you listen to me, I would have told you not to buy it, and you'd have missed out on it. And you need to develop that. So if you so you see that opportunity, and I'm like, oh, I don't like it, but you're like, I'm sure it's going to go up, and you have that confidence to go buy it, you develop yourself as an investor to make that opportunity. You can't rely on someone else to, pick your stocks or anything like that. The main thing is you need to develop as an investor. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the only negative thing about really YouTube at the moment, is that a lot of people get sucked in to some of these, theories on investments, and then they get burnt from it. But you need to build your own investment strategy. That's the only way you're going to develop as an investor, is that you go out and buy stocks on your own, and that's the only way you're going to develop. Yeah, and that's all I can say. It's just a learning curve. The first year you go out on your own and start investing in stocks will be the biggest learning curve in the stock market. It wasn't that, Phoenix. The reason why I bought Square is I was getting into this. I think the reason why I bought Square is I was getting into the stock market, and an advert came on the radio, and it was like, oh, you get mobile payments through Square. And I was like, oh, that's a really good idea, and I thought, I wonder if that's a public company. And I looked, and they just IPO'd as well. I was like, oh, wow. And I looked into it, and I was looking further and further into it. And yeah, I got introduced through Square through a radio advert. So yeah. Thoughts and skills. I love skills. I love skills. I own it. I'm up 100%, I think. Yeah, that's the problem all the way up, thanks for the kind words, but this is the problem in like the YouTube scene, the last kind of the last 12 months, is that there's so many people on this scene that have just started investing. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing YouTube videos when you're like new to investing, but don't act like you're the Warren Buffett of YouTube when you've only been in the stock market for 6 months, and be like, oh, this is an amazing company and everything like this. Just say how you see it, and don't like sell it as like a dream. Just be honest. Just be honest. And that's what I think that's a really frustrating thing. Like, just say your opinions on things rather than putting loads of information out that's not correct. And that's the big thing for me, is like, don't act like a genius if you're new to it. Just be straight honest with people. And I think the problem is as well, is like, for a lot of people that are on the YouTube scene at the moment, is that for a lot of these guys that have come on the YouTube scene, I think a lot of them have been like on furlough over the last kind of 6 months and thought, you know what, something really interesting. I'll get into investing. I'll start up a YouTube channel. But then, you know, they've smashed the algorithm. They've jumped so many subscribers, and they've kind of got to a point now where they're actually like making 10K a month from YouTube ad revenue, you know, maybe even more from Patreon, maybe some from, you know, affiliate links. And it comes to a point where it's like, what's more important to me? Is it more important to give the best investment advice out that I can? Or is it, let me put a clickbaity title with a stock that is, you know, a very hype stock, a hot stock, rather than actually talking about fundamentals of if it's a good investment or a bad investment. And I think that's the big thing, is like, that's what's been lost over the last kind of few months on YouTube, from that point of view. And, you know, I think it's the point that a lot of creators at the moment are more focused on personal gain. Like, you know, they're more focused on getting, you know, 10 in, they were probably having average jobs, you know, before this, and they've gone from getting 10K payments a month on YouTube. You know, you can understand why they've done it, but at the same time, I think there's a bit of, you know, you have your dignity to not put stuff out, you know, that is just not going to help people make money. So yeah, agreed. Hi, I'm totally new to investing, so I do not understand much really, but I've been watching and looking at charts. Are you up on both of the stocks I have invested in, which is Rolls-Royce and IAG? Yeah, you know what? I weren't a big fan of Rolls-Royce, but because we've got a plan now of how we're going to get out on this, my opinion on Rolls-Royce has changed over the last kind of week. I made a video last week talking about it, and I was like, I still won't buy it, but now there's like a clear path of how we're going to get out on this. You know, Rolls-Royce is actually probably worth a punt, but that should be a spec play and only be a small part of your portfolio. IAG, same again. Now we have a clear plan. It could be a position you own, but it's a very risky company. Like, both those companies have horrible balance sheets. That's what you got to remember. And they were never amazing companies before COVID, so just be really careful of that. But yeah, keep them down as, you know, nice small spec positions, but you want to be looking at big blue chip companies as well. If you just start investing, you know, look at your likes of Google, look at your likes of Amazon, you know, companies that you really know. I know the inside and outside of them companies, and look for companies with nice balance sheets, and look for companies that are growing on revenue and profit. You know, company share prices go up in value if companies do well. So just look for companies that are going to be doing really good revenue and profit growth, and normally the share price will follow it. So yeah. Thanks. You know what? I need to really up my streaming game, to be fair. Oh, thank you very much, Kieran. Invest in what you believe in 5 years. Yeah, 100%, 100%. You know, it's a long-term gain. You know, don't make investment decisions on what you think a company is going to do next week and next month. Invest in companies for what they're going to do in the next 2 to 5 years. That's definitely you've made a really good point there. What other YouTubers do I recommend to learn more from? I think financial education is a really good one. The content he puts out on his third channel is really good. There's a channel called Jazz Wealth that I watch quite a bit. There's Dustin over there, and he does like a recap of the US stock market every day. So he puts some really nice content out of there. I really like his content that he puts out. It's hard to remember names off the top of your head. Matthew Hugh. I don't know if that's how you say it. Matthew Huo. He's got a YouTube channel that I like listening to. Sometimes I don't agree with all of his investments, but I really like how he puts his bull case together. You know, I I appreciate YouTubers that put a bull theory to a company, and even if I don't agree with them, I appreciate that they've gone. This is why I like this company. It's at this valuation compared to the other peers that are at this valuation. I think it'll go up in value because it's done this, this, and this. And this is what it's done historically on the revenue. This is what's done on profit. And yeah, he's pretty good at doing all that. Like I say, sometimes I don't 100% agree with the investments he does make, but I appreciate the work that he does put in. The popular investors, pretty good. Dead Inside kind of goes a lot for some more riskier investments. But I like keeping up on some SPAC stocks, so sometimes I do listen to him sometimes. But yeah, there's a lot out there. There's a lot of channels out there. A lot of good content. There's a podcast I listen to as well, which is called Invest Talk. They're very defensive. Like, they're not for growth stocks. They don't invest in growth stocks. But I enjoy listening to that podcast as well. That's a pretty good podcast. I don't know, but Q3 should be good. Matthew says, any cannabis plays? Oh, I shouldn't have said that word. I'll get demonetized. Hopefully they didn't pick it up. Any MJ plays? Yeah, I'm in Planet 13. That's my play. I think that's a great company. AIG, I believe, is British Airways. AMC, I probably wouldn't touch because I'm not a huge fan of where the space is going at the moment. So yeah. No idea, Chad. I'll have to get a crystal ball to answer that one. Yeah, Meet Kevin. I think Meet Kevin's all right. Sometimes he makes some good points. Sometimes he says things that sometimes I don't agree with. But I think he makes some good points as well. So yeah, he's definitely someone that I sometimes listen to. He puts some good information out there every so often. Yeah, not a big fan of crypto and mining companies. Not a big fan. Right. Anyway, I'm going to call it there because we're an hour in. I've got a Beyond Meat's conference call to go listen to, so I'll go listen to that. And then yeah, DraftKings tomorrow. I still don't know what video I'm going to make. I might make a video about Beyond Meats tomorrow. But yeah, sorry, call it time there. We're about an hour in, so hopefully, yeah. Thanks so much for sticking around. There's 224 of you in here with 99 likes. Oh, that's like a little bit annoying, isn't it? Like, can we just get it over to 100? There we go. 107. That was a big jump, though. But yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, we've got 220 of us in here, which is great. So thank you so much. Thought it'd be a good one to do a live stream on. Actually, I might just talk about the correction actually tomorrow. I might do that. We'll see. Might do a correction, might do Beyond Meats. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks so much for joining at 10, half 10, quarter to 11 on a Thursday night. But yeah, I'll catch you in a bit, guys. Thanks so much for watching.